that you're in your CRO role, I want to take us one sort of step back. Obviously, before in a previous life, this is where we met. We met in San Diego, where both you and I were graduate students. So my question to you is, and this is what I would like to maybe call like a punk rock moment, where so you basically took a leap of faith in some regards, where you chose to essentially not pursue finishing the PhD and essentially return to UK. And basically you're now a senior scientist at the CRO. Looking back, this has been almost 3 years now. I assume you're pretty happy with that decision. I can't see why you wouldn't be. But what is your, let's say, sense of like accomplishment? How do you feel really looking back at like that decision at the time? Did you see yourself being where you are now? And how was that decision really affect your life over these last few years?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was obviously it's a big decision, but you describe it as a leap of faith, and it's like I've got a habit of doing that, to be honest. I think it was a case of, moving to San Diego. That was kind of a big leap as well, because as you know, I started my my graduate program in Glasgow at the Beatson Institute. And transitioned to San Diego because my lab effectively packed up shop and moved to California. It was an interesting realization. I think perhaps spurred on by the fact that I already had some experience in industry before. Mm-hmm. I started out immediately after my undergraduate studies working as a research tech with AstraZeneca. But in the 2 years I was in that pharma role, I was kind of always like, oh, I want to try big picture, blue sky science, go for a graduate program, do a PhD, and see where that takes me. And, it took me across the Atlantic, and it took me a bunch of places, but I got a palpable sense of when I was in that third year in the SPT that it was taking me somewhere I didn't really want to go. I got kind of the feeling that I'd hopped on the wrong bus. Mm-hmm. And I was like, really what I was wanting to do was more of what I'd experienced in industry, to be honest, which is, persecuting these scientific ideas at the point of them becoming tangible therapies, basically. That's not to say I didn't enjoy my time in academia. I did some really interesting stuff, aging biology and epigenetics, which I still got a really big interest in, but I felt like it was it was time to kind of sidestep and think about what I wanted in terms of a career, and whether that was the right place to take me there. So it was a bit of a leap of faith, and it wasn't just professional reasons that I left. I had personal reasons for returning to the UK, but I would say overall it was a professional move. Mm-hmm. And did I see myself here when I essentially moved back to the UK? Kinda.
That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of what I was aiming for. So I'll tell you now. I got back to the UK. I wrote up my data as a master's thesis. Took a bit of time out to reorient what I wanted to do. I decided, I still want to work in a lab, just in a different context. So I, pursued career options in quite a wide range of things. I had interviews with a few startups that were doing interesting stuff in aging space, epigenetic space. I had a couple of interviews at places which were maybe a little more aligned with academic interests, but were kind of on the translational side. So moving ideas from academic labs into drug discovery programs, so to speak. I got some offers from that, others, not so fortunate. But then it was a case of this opportunity came up and it kind of ticked all the boxes. And, I got an initial interview and it seemed right up my street. And, the leadership at the company seemed great, really clued in. And I kind of got a feeling of, oh yeah, that's the culture I want to be in. So I'll go for that. And I think if I hadn't got the job at Signature where I am now, I'd have probably looked for something similar.